Yes.
From Tracktion.
Yes, welcome Sonic State. And Nick, again, we're here at Tracktion.
So this very smooth room up here, nice and quiet.
It's quiet, very civilized. Hopefully it's the first of many rooms like this that they do going forward, because it's been great for us. So
you've just released Biotech, right?
Yep, correct. Yep, Biotech's running over here. It's the theme of our booth this year. The vibe of Biotech is essentially it's a bunch of really nice nature sounds, environmental samples. A friend of ours, Mike Wall, who was floating around over here somewhere, a friend of ours from Seattle, writes music for massage therapy and for chill. So over the years, he's been collecting this vast sound library of nature sounds and a completely untapped resource. So what we've done is taken all of those really nice nature samples and mashed it in with a synthesis engine. You know, the idea, one of the goals was how do we take a sound of a waterfall and be able to mangle it into a bass line,
Yeah, no, that's true. Waterfalls, I always remember when you're recording ambient sound, you record a waterfall in the stream, it just sounds like a toilet flushing,
yes,
no matter what.
Totally.
Not in this case, though, I imagine.
Well, there are strange noises in this, believe me. So yeah, Biotech is strange. I mean, it's not an instrument where you go to look for a piano sound or something like that. Very filmic, very sound design-ish. As you can see, the main control is a giant XY control. And the sound design team has hooked up potentially dozens of parameters that this is controlling in the background. All the secondary controls are also macros, and they're all unique to every patch. So as you change through patches, you'll see all the controls update. So it's like having a massive modular engine in the background, and the sound design team go in, they pull all those connections, they link everything together, they do all the hard work of creating these stunning patches for you. The synth ships with 127 straight out the gates. We're going to be adding more, of course. The product will evolve.
And are they based on 127 different ambient samples, or just samples,
all sorts,
just derived
total
from whatever?
mixture. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The synth has the ability to do percussive sounds, basses, complex evolving pads. I mean, it's pretty diverse.
At this point is a good time to maybe hear some of that.
Yeah, well, here we go. So, I mean, Data Cyclone is one of our percussive. And then moving the XY allows you to morph the sounds very quickly and easily. One of the things that has come up from people who haven't played with it is they think these are loops. They're not. They're just arpeggiated single hits. So you turn the arpeggiator off, and you can go in and program all your own rhythmic loops as well. You go in and tweak all the sounds.
So the samples are kind of key grouped as well.
Exactly, and the keyboards are on split. So this particular one we have an arpeggiator going on the upper split up here. You can see this is completely separate from the percussive element. And then, of course, you have controls for the arpeggiators down here. And everything's kind of interlinked, so as you change secondary controls, it may trigger new stuff in the XY, so it's just a fun instrument to actually play.
And can you control the XY from an external XY? Or,
of course, yeah, everything's assignable very, very quickly. In fact, I think we have a couple of things hooked up here just straight away. Yeah, so super easy.
The guys who made this, I mean, have they got a kind of pedigree in weird instruments?
Absolutely. So the guy who wrote the platform, the whole architecture of the engine behind the scenes, is Wolfram Franke, who wrote all of Waldorf's plugins. So yeah, so he's the coder behind it, and the guy who's heading up sound design is my friend Taiho Yamada, who I met at Avid, he worked at Alesis for many years. He did the Andromeda.
And the M Audio.
M Audio Venom.
Which was actually a great sounding
really good sounding instrument, yep. So he did all the sound design, led the sound design team that did this. So yeah, I mean, these guys are heavy hitting guys.
So obviously, is it linked to Tracktion anyway? I mean, is it a kind of...
it's AAX, AU, VST and Linux VST, so it's going to work in any host. Including Pro Tools, of course. So yeah.
But if you got Tracktion, could you buy it cheaper?
Of course, we bundle. Yeah, we bundle. So there's an ultimate bundle where you get Tracktion, Biotech, our Master Mix plugin, our other little micro synth pack, all bundled in. It's a couple $100.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So a couple more patches, I think, sir.
Yep, we're working on it. Definitely. There'll be some more free packs coming out. There's more features we're going to add to it. One of the things that's going to happen, free update in a couple of months, is we've got a motion control for the orb here. So essentially you'll be able to trigger motions, so you'll be able to do rhythmic motions with this control.
Kinesis and
yeah, exactly. So that's coming in a couple of months, so it'll be a free update. So
are there any other sounds we could hear now?
yeah, let's go through a few of them. So we have automotive is one of my favorite ones. It has this really fun arpeggio line at the top. Triggers off some real sort of somewhat random and surprising sort of delay patterns that get triggered off in this arp line. You know, I used it in one of the demo songs that's on the website. I did a drum and bass track, and literally I just play the simple chord progression of this, and it fires off these weird like delay lines that it's just rich and complex.
I guess that's the thing with something like this, with subtle XY control, people can find their own sweet spots, because it's so easy just to dial in a preset and go.
The amount of control you get from the XY plus then your secondaries, and we haven't even touched the flow LFOs yet. I mean, the flow LFOs allow you to, and you can choose your wave shape, you know, and the rate, you know, and for example, this one's on a bass wobble.
So it's like a sort of predetermined modulation path.
Exactly, and then you can play them and choose the rates and synchronizations. So, I mean, you can spend literally hours and hours and hours deep diving into sounds on this. It's surprisingly capable.
And what's the? It's available now, right?
Available now from the website, $150.
Okay, yep. Cool. So I think a couple more patches to play us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great bass lines in here. Go from. Let's play a little arp line on this.
I like the little animations of creatures and planes and birds flying around.
It's all subtly moving. I mean, it's, you know. Then what else we got? We got nice sort of complex evolving stuff.
Oh, lovely. And is it possible to bring your own stuff in as ambient source and treat it with the synth engine, or is it tied to the...
No, it's all internal, and the sound design team does all the patching and all that good stuff for you. And then you're presented, I mean, the goal of this instrument is to keep it single screen. You know, it's not an instrument where there's like pages and pages of stuff.
That's the Tracktion philosophy,
you know,
right?
Exactly, it's the Tracktion philosophy, single screen, make it as easy to use as possible. And Taiho and the sound design team have done all that hard work of patching these pristine patches that you can go in and, I mean, there's, on different patches, like for this one, he's got his, you know, all sorts of, I mean, like the stream noises, it's percussion frequency modulation you can use. I mean, he's pulled a lot of strange and weird and wonderful aspects that, you know, unless you're a real synth patch guy, you would never know to even do this stuff. So
I'm guessing by the nature of the fact that there's a high-level kind of front interface, there must be a back-level monster synthesizer that they could use to control.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we have a sound design version of this, and it's literally, we hide a button on the UI, but the sound design version, you click it, and there is multiple pages of all the assignments that the sound design team have to do to create a patch, and it can take days to create a patch, which is why, you know, that version is only accessible to sound designers. I mean, 99.9% of the world would get so lost in that environment.
Yeah, it's very specialised, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Woody, thank you very much.
Pleasure, pleasure.
Award-winning customer service. Fast, free shipping on most orders. Own the gear of your dreams today.